want people to walk back with like like 3 things that they can do this week that are going to make a massive change in their business life, maybe their personal life, whatever it might be.
Well, because really it takes one nugget that could possibly pay for the whole event, just one nugget.
Yeah.
And that's usually how it goes too.
Welcome to Our Business Shenanigans, where strategy meets sarcasm and entrepreneurship gets real. Hosted by Jen and Nicole, best friends and cleaning business owners turned accidental mentors. This podcast dives into the wild ride of building a business, the wins, the failures, and the moments that make you question literally everything about it. We get honest about leadership, growth, burnout, boundaries, team drama, and all the behind-the-scenes stuff no one wants to talk about, with a healthy dose of sarcasm and storytelling. If you're here for raw conversations, practical insight, and a little business mischief, you're in the right place. No fluff, no filters, just the truth, the laughs, and the lessons. This is Our Business Shenanigans. All right, welcome back to Our Business Shenanigans, where strategy meets sarcasm and entrepreneurship gets real. I am Jen Rogers.
And I'm Nicole Kolb. Okay, friends, buckle up. Today we've got Molly and Drew, the brains behind CleanCon, with us today. Unfortunately, we are missing Holly. All right, if you haven't heard of CleanCon yet, here's the quick and dirty. CleanCon 2026 is the conference for the residential cleaning industry. The event is March 16th to 18th in Indianapolis at the Conrad. But this is not just a conference, this is a movement.
Yeah, the whole point of this is connection plus education that you can actually use with keynotes, panels on marketing, sales, ops, leadership, and tech. And my personal favorite part, they are pushing a very clear no hype, no selling from the stage standard. This is built to be practical, community-driven, and actually worth the time away from your business. Molly and Drew, welcome to Our Business Shenanigans. So tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Hey guys, thanks for having us. So I'm Molly Moran. I've been in the residential cleaning industry for just almost 17 years. Next month my cleaning company will be celebrating its 17th year in business, and it's called Green Sweep in Albuquerque. And I also am a coach in the space as well.
Perfect.
Yeah. So my name is Drew Larison. I am the CEO of 5 Door Media. We are a marketing agency built for cleaning companies that are ready to grow. Over 10 years, I've owned an agency as a whole. And we're one of the newer agencies into this cleaning space. But we really think we've found a good home in this space, and we love serving this industry.
Awesome. I love that. So tell us about the origin of CleanCon and why it exists, what you guys are looking to get out of this event.
Yeah. So Drew, I'll start and then you can hop in if that sounds good. So Drew, Holly, and myself, we were all at the Cleaning and Cocktails event, which was at the huge convention last summer, I believe. Time is collapsing. I don't really know when it was.
It was last August, yeah.
Thank you. And it was this amazing event. It was really intimate. It was really connected and had some of the stuff that has come out of what we're doing here with CleanCon. We were just like, this is great. It's not heavily salesy. People are genuinely helping one another, learning from one another. And we're like, why doesn't this exist in the house cleaning industry? So we started talking there about that. And it's funny because for a few years I've been like, the house cleaning industry needs something different. We need something different that serves more of us better. There's some great things out there without a doubt, but I was like, we need something different. And then Cleaning and Cocktails really offered an amazing model, right, Drew?
100%. Yeah. So that's kind of like the origin story of it. And I think what's cool of how we're building the structure of this, we've all been to many industry events, whether it's cleaning, home service as a whole, or in my world, even agency events. And I think we've taken our favorite things that we've found at the events that we've gone to, and we've kind of sandwiched them into what we're wanting CleanCon to be. We've learned what works, what doesn't work, what we love, what we haven't loved. You mentioned up top, not selling from the stage kind of thing. And we've also asked for a bunch of feedback from the industry as a whole online, we actually did a big survey push, before we really programmed anything for this. And we listened to that feedback. So this is not an event that will feel similar. I'll be honest, this is an event that will feel different to the people that are attending. And we're hoping, due to it's off of what we've loved and not loved and learned from those things, as well as feedback from the industry, it's going to feel different in a really good way. So we're really excited I don't know. I've always said the best things in my life always have an origin of like terror and excitement. I'll be honest, this fits into that bucket so well,
Totally.
so well. Whether it was like getting married, having kids, starting multiple businesses, like there's always like this good, healthy mix of terror and excitement, and CleanCon is like right there. So I'm really excited about it. Also terrified, so it's good. Yeah.
I love that so much. We're super excited about it.
Do it scared. I will say I'm really excited too. I think that you have three powerful brains behind this whole operation. It's genius. Don't know why I didn't think of it myself. But I'm so proud of y'all. Like I'm actually really hyped. I think if anything, I'm just surprised y'all limited the tickets. I think that's good to be intimate, but I think it's going to blow up bigger than y'all expect, if I'm honest.
Hey, that would be amazing, and that is certainly a goal down the road. But we wanted something like there are going to be mistakes at this event. This is the first like large event any of us have put on. I mean, and there are so many different components, and so doing it with 200 people or 250 people versus 500 people seems a lot. It's a little more calming for us to think about, I think. You know, and also we really want to keep the intimacy part of it for sure. And so there are ways to create more intimacy and connection in large events as well. And so we'll look forward to doing that in the future for sure.
Yeah, I love that you guys are doing this because, like you said, you saw a need and you decided to fill it. I feel like in our industry, especially, and we say this all the time on the podcast, is that people started cleaning businesses because they were good at cleaning, not because they wanted to start a business. And so then when they start getting successful and they start having to hire people and then they have to hire office staff, it's like, whoa, this is a whole new world. I don't really know what to do with this. And so having something like this where you guys are bringing that education where they're not having to pay a small fortune to go back to school and learn how to do all this stuff, not that they really teach you that in school anyway, I feel like is just amazing and I'm super excited about it.
Thanks. You know, and for us, as we've been really thoughtful, like Drew said, we've taken some of like the best, the event, the structure of the event. It's so our three pillars are connection, education, and innovation. And so all of those are sort of baked into the whole event from our kickoff on Monday evening, which is a sort of welcome party connection point, which is like, we hope everyone gets there in time for that, because that is setting the stage for the whole event. It's not just like another cocktail networking hour. Like that's not the purpose of it. To all of the programming with the panelists, to our keynote speaker, Mike Michalowicz, who, you know, is a best-selling author of a whole bunch of books, but he'll be talking on profit first, because so many people build businesses, and as they grow and as they scale, they often become less profitable because they're adding all kinds of things into the pile that they don't need. So he's going to talk about that and strip away that so that people can walk away. You get one thing from Mike Michalowicz, it pays for your entire trip. Right?
Absolutely.
Like, so, you know, and then with the panels that we're building and the masterminding, I'm going to let Drew talk about some of this too as well, especially the masterminding piece. But the panels, it's like, it's not just vendors up there talking, it's business owners up there talking, it's managers of businesses, of some of these businesses up there talking. Like it's a real mix. So that, because the audience is very diverse. It's people from $500,000 to $10 million. It's a very diverse audience. So we're being really thoughtful about how we're putting the program together so that everyone can pull something from it. And Drew, maybe you can talk about the masterminding piece of it, because that's sort of, so there's the connection, there's the education and training, and then there's also in the innovation piece, and then back to connection and growth is where the masterminding on day 3 comes in. And Drew really brought this piece in, so I'd love it if you could describe some of this.
For sure. Yeah. And this is what I was talking about. Like, we've all been to events, and this is one of the things that I brought from an event that I go to and I love. And it's actually an agency event. It's not like a residential or a home service event that I go to, but it's masterminds. And I know like that's a very heavily used word. People like kind of know what that means. And I know the word roundtables have even like been discussed in the industry before, but like really what we're hoping to do at this event is such a level of intentionality higher than I think what people are used to, that I think it's really going to be beneficial. So one of the last things that we're going to do, if you guys have registered for CleanCon, you'll notice we asked for like, what in our revenue level are you at? It's not us being nosy. That is not us just like getting like industry data. That is intentional because we're going to be putting everybody at tables, and they are shaped in a round table, but we're going to be putting everybody at tables with people that are at the same or close to same revenue range that you are at. And we were going to be doing these mastermind sessions. I think it's like an hour and a half total. But this is at the agency event that I go to, it's also like a 3-day event. I would go just for this hour and a half, and I get so much out of it. The goal is you bring one issue that you're having inside your residential cleaning business right now. You're having this one issue, and the goal is within that hour and a half, not only is your problem going to be solved because everybody at your table is going to help you figure it out and like jam out to figure out the answer to that problem, but you're probably also going to find out whether, let's say there's 10 people at a table, 9 other problems that you don't realize you have or that you're going to have, and hopefully you're going to get the answer to those problems as well, all within an hour and a half. And like what the magic of this is, you're not going to be put at a table with somebody that's doing half your revenue. You're not going to be put at a table with somebody who's doing 10 times your revenue. You're going to be at a table with your people that are like stepping in the same steps that you're stepping in every single day, that are going through the same problems that you're going through every single day, that hopefully maybe they've already solved that problem, or you guys can jam out together and find out the best solution for that problem within that 10 minutes that you're at the table. We're going to be sticklers on this. This is not going to be one of those things where one person's going to dominate the entire conversation. We're going to hold each other accountable to that. We're not going to let that happen. We're going to let everybody get their fair chance to talk. And another cool layer to this is we've talked a lot about the promotion for the event. This is definitely an event that owners are going to get a lot out of it, but we've encouraged people to bring their A players, as they call them, like their management staff, their leadership team to this event too. We think there's going to get so much value through the panels and through the keynote that your management team will get so much out of this. But also, we're going to have like an A players mastermind table as well. So your team will be able to connect with other people across the country with the same people doing what they're doing every day. You know, like we've
Right.
heard stories from people already saying, as the owner, I'm plugged in. I'm in the Facebook groups. I go to the events. I've got my network across the country. And the A players, they don't have that normally,
Yeah.
right? So like, and
No,
that we've heard staff even say, like, I need this. Well, I don't know anybody else that does my job. So we're going to be supplying like an A players mastermind table as well. So they can connect with people that are also doing what they do every day. And then hopefully that connection will last past the event as well. They'll grow those networks. They'll grow that, their team they have across the country as well. And so much value is going to be coming from that. And I think it's something A players are thirsty for. Like they need that and has never been allowed to get it.
Yeah, what I was going to say is I love that because I have brought my office manager to events before. And one of the things that when we leave and we get back, she's on fire. So it's not just me coming back, hey guys, look at all the things that I've learned, or just me spewing at them. They get to hear it there and what's working for other people. So they're more excited about it. They're more bought into the vision and what you're doing, and not just, all right, she's telling us to do this again. They get to hear it from other people. No, it's really working around the country with other cleaning companies. This is why we should be doing it. I love that.
Yeah. I think owners talk about being lonely a lot. You know, like it's lonely being an owner and it's lonely being a founder at times. I think our A player staff can feel that too, and they're just scared to say it. I think it's scared to be like a manager at a company sometimes when you don't have like a local network of people that you can talk to and relate to and like realize the stuff that you're going through, everybody else goes through as well. So I think this will provide that opportunity for them to not be lonely anymore either. You know, so I'm excited about it. But those mastermind sessions, I think, are just going to be gold for people. Just the level of intentionality of like you're going to be at a table with people just like you for an hour and a half, and who knows where those relationships can go past that as well. So very excited about that.
Yeah, you can definitely hear the intentionality behind everything through the mapping and just what I've gathered so far. So I'm really excited for that. And I just want to applaud you. Thank you for doing something for the residential cleaning industry. I feel like the commercial cleaning industry has so much support in so many events. And I think that this can really be something that kind of breaks that stigma behind $10 house cleaners from like the 70s, right? So I think that this is really going to up level and evolve and just turn into something really amazing to just strengthen the industry even more. And I really hear the vision. I hear the vision and I hear the purpose, and you can't mask that. You can't make that up. So thank you for everything that y'all are doing to be so intentional for this. And part of that, I think, what I really appreciate is that y'all are so loud about no hype and no selling from the stage. Why is that such a non-negotiable for y'all?
You know, I think first, Nicole, thank you for that. This is a labor of love of as we've talked about a little bit. So so thanks for that. And I think that, you know, just with how quickly everything is moving now. I mean, everyone talks about it with technology, like everything is moving so quickly and we're so connected, and anyone can sell anything online at any time. Anyone can position themselves as an expert, and there is so we are being sold so hard, so constantly, all everywhere, and not just in the house cleaning industry, but just across the board, right? We're being sold to, and we just really, we want this to feel different. We want to truly create a learning space for people. Now, we have like 18 amazing vendors that are going to be there, and they, you know, and they are helping. They are part of why the ticket price is like,
Yeah.
what, $400 or something insanely low, right? Like, so we have vendors there, but they are not going to be on stage speaking for 20 minutes about why their product is better than the next product. Like, we're not doing that. Because so they will be there, they will be present, they will be there to share and to teach and to offer things and all of that, like as part of, you know, just being vendors and supporting our industry and providing great solutions for our industry. However, the level of from stage, like, it's almost, I mean, like, this word is overused, and so I don't want to, like, it's not even right, but safe space. Like, this is a sales-free safe space, right? From the stage, we are really sharing ideas, we are sharing best practices. Jen, we've got your manager is going to be one of our panelists. We want to know, like, what makes that such a great and impactful relationship, and we, you know, we want to learn from her. We want the audience to learn from her what it's like to work with a fast-moving visionary, right? So we're just really, I don't know if I answered your question, Nicole, but like, we are being so tight about this, and it's interesting because in our uh we've had people apply who almost like pay to play, like, I'll be a vendor if, and we're like, no, that's not how we're doing stuff here, guys. Like, that's not,
Yeah.
like it's really about the participants first, and we have, fortunately, we have a ton of amazing vendors who support that vision and get that vision, and they are not there to pay to play. They're there to, like, love on and support and teach our industry genuinely. So it's pretty cool.
That's
I
pretty
love
And then
awesome.
going back to what I was saying too, we asked for so much feedback. Like, we did that survey before we really started planning anything specific. I don't think I'm crazy saying this. That was near top of the list of like things you have not enjoyed about going to it. That was one of the questions we asked, I think. Like, what have you not enjoyed about going to industry events in the past? I think that was the number one answer. I feel like I paid to get sold to. I feel like I paid a bunch of money for a ticket to be sat in a chair, and then I am just sold to the entire time. So how foolish of us would it have been to have that be the number one piece of feedback we got and then not take it seriously, right? So
Right.
I don't know. I'm a big believer too. I mean, I have spoken on panels. I have done, you know, breakout talks. I speak quite a bit on the road. I'm a big believer that the less you sell from the stage, the more you're going to sell. Like, kind of like the opposite of how that works. But if you're truly there for the community to add value, to educate, to show, a piece of information that maybe the audience is missing, that's going to work out better for you later. You know,
It's like
I
the
think,
whole
I think
premise of the book, The Go Giver. The Go Giver is all about that. You
100%,
give
you
value
know,
and
Totally.
it comes back.
Totally.
yeah.
I,
So
I,
I'm a big believer of that. So hopefully we can maybe change the tone of events, and hopefully people will give that a try, and they'll see that there's truth in it. You know, like, the less you sell, the more you're going to sell, I think.
I can honestly testify that as a consumer in this market, in this day and age, that I have had a an abundance of options in front of me before. And the deciding factor for me was who has more heart that is visible for actually serving the community. I have literally had a choice of like 10 people to choose from for specific things. And I remember saying, this person's added value for free. What are they going to add when I'm paying them for it? And I have went with that person because of that. So I can tell you as a consumer, it's going to blow up. I mean, it's just like Jen said, the book Go Giver. The more you give, the more you're going to get. And one of my mentors, when I started my company, he said, beware of anybody that is in it for money. Anybody that is in it just for revenue or money is never going to have enough, and they're always going to be alone.
So good. They're never going to have enough. That's so good.
So
Yeah.
I want to know, how do y'all actually enforce the no selling from stage?
You'll see it when we do it.
All right.
Yeah, a part of that's true, right?
Like,
Are we all going to have little signs that we just like lift up, like,
Stop selling.
No, she's right. She's right. Like I am fully prepared to call it out in the moment, right? Like, but also I think, I don't know, we didn't talk about this, I guess, super intentionally, but like we're going to doing panels, for this. That'll be like the bulk of the education will be in panel format. And I think we're being really intentional about these panels and having conversations with the panelists before anybody ever steps on a stage too. We're going to be this is not a panel where you get asked to be on it and then you just show up, not really know what's going to go on. And it's kind of like going back and forth. Like I said, like Holly, Molly, and I are all podcast hosts. Like we really want to curate these conversations the best we possibly can to add the most value. And that's kind of how I'm looking at these panels, right? Similar to a podcast. Like, how can we, plan this out to where we're going to be able to put on the best show as a panel as possible? But like those conversations beforehand will definitely be intentional. Like we will let them know the ground rules in those conversations beforehand to make sure we're limiting it as much as possible. But I mean, you might see it happen in real time, like Molly said.
But I bet not. I bet not,
Yeah.
honestly, because we
Perfect
have been.
world, no. Yeah.
Perfect world, no. But we've been so thoughtful about it, and we are having individual panel meetings, like Drew said beforehand. So we'll be laying out the ground rules, and it's like not even like. I mean, we still have to figure out some of those details ourselves. We're still building this, obviously, but I really don't think you're going to be seeing that. Now, will people be selling at this event? Yeah, of course. We've got vendors, and they're amazing. They're helping us put it on. They're going to, I'm sure, have offers and all kinds of things that are special just for this event, but that won't be happening from stage.
Love that.
What is one thing that you've built into CleanCon so far that attendees won't even notice, but it changes everything?
Man.
Damn.
I had to come with some hard questions. I'm sorry.
Just one?
Or just something that comes to mind. What is something that y'all built in, but it changes everything?
I mean, I'll be biased, but like, I really think that mastermind moment we were talking. Yeah. I really think what we talked about earlier, it's going to be, and like I said, like I've been in this agency group that I'm in for years now. It's 3 times a year. I go down to Miami. It is multiple days. If there was an option, and no offense to the group, it's an amazing group. Everything else is great. But if there was an option just to show up for that hour and a half, I would get my money's worth in that hour and a half. So like, I am so pumped for that. And I think people, like I was saying, like the term mastermind is not unique. We're going to be using brown tables. And I know in this industry, that's not unique, but I don't think people fully realize how different this hour and a half is going to be. And how like powerful this hour and a half is going to be. And like the things we're laying the ground rules for the hour and a half, I think it's just going to be really powerful.
I don't think that people understand how important connection is for any entrepreneur. Like you said earlier, that it's very lonely. It's lonely for the managers. Nicole and I were a part of a coaching group. That's how actually we met. And, then I was in her wedding, and now we have a podcast, and now we're besties, and we talk literally all day, every day. But I wouldn't have made that connection without being surrounded by other industry people. The amazing thing is that her and I can talk business all day, or we can talk absolute nonsense all day. And I have her, I have Michelle, I have other people that I met through that. So having that dedicated time for connection, I feel like is going to be huge. And people, like you said, aren't going to understand how huge it is until after they're there and they experience it.
It's
when I
relatability.
The other thing I would just, it is, sorry, I just did cut off a few people, but the other thing that we're going to be baking in there is that everyone there has something to offer. So you could be new to the industry, you could have been in the industry for 17 years like me, right? We all have something to offer to the conversation. And so we're going to be having some pieces woven throughout that bring that out, that it's not just a bunch of people that have been at it for a while or selling for a while or figure out the next great thing that are out up there talking. Like, we all have something to offer. And so that's going to be that's going to be a really different thing that's going to be baked into the whole event as well.
I love that. So it sounds like there's a big audience and a big crowd, but who is CleanCon not for?
That's a great question. I would say CleanCon is not for people who don't have a residential cleaning company. Obviously, I mean, and we've had some people inquire, and it's not the event for them. This one is focused 100% on house cleaning company owners. And yes, there are other events out there, and they run the gamut from being very small, tight ones of like a dozen people to a couple hundred people to then the ISSA event where the residential industry is sort of like the redheaded stepchild there. Like, it's very interesting, and so they run the gamut. So this is really like for our industry, by our industry, for our industry. So that would be the case. It also, of course, people who are just looking to come in and make a quick buck and get out. Like, we're not allowing just vendors to buy tickets to circulate through the event. Like, every ticket purchase, you have to own a house cleaning company or you get a vendor ticket. So you're not going to have a bunch of vendors just floating around that are there to sell, but they didn't get a vendor booth and they don't have a house cleaning company. Like, it's a very intentionally done. Like, we've got some real tight boundaries on that.
Which I've even had like industry friends who are labeled as vendors. They're like, can I just buy a ticket to support? I'm like, I feel like it'd be really weird if you did that. Because like, especially those mastermind like sections, it would be very weird if you're at a table and you don't own the business and you don't own a residential, because it's so laser focused on that residential world. So I'm like, I really appreciate you wanting to support, but like, no, don't buy a ticket. Don't take a ticket from the residential owner that could be there, like that type of thing. So it's been interesting.
And Drew, actually, just to talk about the masterminds, the vendors aren't going to be at the mastermind tables. So
Sure
the
not.
vendors,
No.
somebody who's got a solution, they're not going to be sitting at the table selling to it. The masterminds are for the house cleaning business owners, right? So yeah.
I'll be wondering just because I want to see the magic all happening. But no, I'm not sitting down at a table. Yeah.
And I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm also going to say that CleanCon is not for the closed-minded. Like, if you are coming to this event, come prepared to learn. If you're coming to this event to just say, I know everything, you can't teach me anything, then this is not going to be the event for you. Come open-minded, come expecting to learn something. But as we're talking about learning, I want to talk about like programming speakers and things like that. What topics did you guys decide were must-haves for 2026?
Great question. Well, so we started with our first event. What we've decided is that we wanted to have like a really amazing keynote speaker to anchor the entire discussion for our time together. And so we reached out to Mike Michalowicz of Profit First. He's sort of one of my mentors from afar, hero. Definitely, his mission is to help eradicate entrepreneurial poverty. And he has not. He's been a little bit in our industry, but very little in our industry. So we started with him, and we were really fortunate to get him at our event, at this first event. And so then all of our other panels they're around marketing, and yes, they're around management and technology and innovation, but they all tie into how to also increase profit in these different ways, right? So, we've been really thoughtful about that piece, and in full honesty, we still got 3 weeks or something like that. So we're still working out some of those details for sure. But just with how, I mean, for many of us, I mean, money, like, listen, we are capitalists. We own businesses, and profit and figuring and understanding profit and how it is literally, it should be a filter for I hesitate to use the word should, but it's good if it's a filter for many of the decisions that we make, whether it's a marketing decision or a decision on training our staff or whatever it is. It all comes down to the bottom line. It all comes down to, can we support our team? Can we pay our team a good wage? Can we pay ourselves a good wage for all the risks that we're taking? So profit seemed like a really great place to start with this particular event.
I love that, because especially a lot of the smaller cleaners that are going to be there have never really looked into their numbers before. And I have to say, I don't even know if you know this, Molly, but the only reason that I know my numbers is because of you. Like, you literally sat down with me one day and we went through my QuickBooks line by line. I didn't know what a P&L was. I didn't know how to look at it. And I was like, everybody keeps telling me I need to know my numbers, but what numbers? What numbers am I looking at? I don't understand any of this. And you sat down and we spent an hour going through it. And that was really what catapulted me into really diving in and knowing what my numbers are. Because honestly, I don't care if you're a $500,000 business or $1 million business. If your profit is zero, it's impossible to do this business. Like, you just can't. Like, I'd rather be a $500,000 business with a 20% profit than $1 million business with a 1% profit or no profit. Like, it puts it into perspective. So I love that your first event is focusing on the numbers and really talking to these business owners who probably are sitting there going, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Well, Jen, thank you. You just made my whole day, so that's awesome.
It's early, too.
End up making
I
you
know, it's
cry
early.
before the hour.
I know, me too. I was
That's
like,
the goal.
I was like, pull it together, Moran. No, that's awesome, and it's true. And I do a lot of that. I continue to do a lot of that with the people that I work with, honestly. And so I'm really excited, for us to be able. We're gonna hear it from the horse's mouth, right? Mike McCallowitz. I read Profit First in 2018, and I had a pretty decent sized business then, and my profit margin, I think I had an $800,000 business with like a 6% profit margin, right? Like, not good, right? And so I read that book. It changed the entire trajectory of my business. So and that to me was sort of the anchor, the linchpin, the whatever that changed everything for me. So for me, it made so much sense to go there. If we could get a speaker of his caliber, a teacher of his caliber to come talk to us, then that's where I wanted to start. So I'm excited that you're also excited to hear that, because I think it is going to make a huge difference for people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's such a good foundational topic, too. Like, you can talk about a lot of the other buckets and categories that go into running a successful business, but if that financial layer is not sound, you got to fix that first, right? You gotta fix that first. And I think how we're planning, like, even future events is like, we'll be talking about like marketing, innovation, leadership, management, but we want always the conversation to go back to one major topic. So this time it's financials, it's profit, things like that. Next time it'll be a different one. But I think no matter what bucket of conversation we're talking about, it can be focused back on one main issue to where you can leave that event thing like, I got that. I got it under control, and like everything is, balanced and good to go from there. So I think it made sense for our first event to like tackle this financial one, because it's the bedrock of anything that's successful.
Yeah, I love that. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit to some talking about community and connection. And we all know that, yes, the event is going to be amazing. And yes, the conversations are going to be amazing. But a lot of times after the event, you've got the hallway conversations. So what kind of conversations are you hoping that are going to happen in the hallway or in the hotel rooms or the lobbies after hours, after they've been to the event?
I mean, for me, I'm hoping that it's just the beginning of like mind-blowing change and implementation in actual reality, but also in like mindset and and belief and where people can go with things. So the goal is, and just to go back to what Drew said about tying it into one topic, the goal here isn't to just we're not like splattering people with all kinds of a variety of information about them for all kinds of things in the industry. We really want to keep it focused. So I want people to walk away with like, oh my God, I'm going to cut this expense, or oh my God, I'm going to bring in this tech tool that's going to help increase our profit, or I'm going to do this. I want the conversation is that my hope is that those are the conversations of like massive light bulb moments and sharing, so that other people can learn from what you're learning, right? And so that you really walk away with some very actionable things, not just more ideas. Listen, we've all been to events where we walk away with 10 pages of notes, and then we get back, and then we get right back into life as usual, right? And so that's not it. I want people to walk back and with like some like 3 things that they can do this week that are going to make a massive change in their business life, maybe their personal life, whatever it might be.
Well, because really it takes one nugget that could possibly pay for the whole event, just one nugget.
Yeah.
And that's usually how it goes too. And you're like, I've been in that moment. I'm like, there it is. I can go home. Like I'll hear that thing. I'm like, there it is. I got it. Right. I don't know. I really, the more we've been planning this event I mean, if you guys have ever done any sort of event, you know just how beautifully chaotic it can be, all the details that need to go into place and things. But like, what really our job is that I think I have like realized, we are throwing like a very intensive like dinner party. We are party hosts, right? We are event hosts. Our job, I think, is to set the table to allow the best possible moments in their few days with us to happen. And I think what we're doing is like setting that table to where open discussion can happen, connection can happen, education can happen. Like, you ever go to a dinner party and you're with somebody you've never met before, they just turn out to be like the most brilliant human being in your life, and you're just sitting at the table like listening to them like this because you just want to soak in everything they're saying. I feel like that's our job, is just like, we're setting that table, right? And we hope that like the table is set in a way that you feel comfortable, that you feel confident in who you are, confident in where you're at, but also, like you said earlier, like open-minded, to where your brain is in a spot where like, okay, I'm gonna change things. Like, these few days are gonna change things for me, and like let the conversations happen from there. And like talk about what type of conversations, whatever conversations are needed for the people, I think. Like, that's the conversations that I want to happen, because there's going to be for the people. Yeah. Like, I want like there's going to be 200 people at this event, more than that, but like everybody's going to come with a different need. And I hope everybody leaves with that need met. Right. And like, that's the job of the party hosts that we are, the dinner party hosts that we are, is to set the table, set the scene, that they can leave with whatever they came for. That's the goal.
So if somebody, sorry, go ahead, Nicole.
I was just going to say, I feel like y'all are planning I'm going to butcher this word, the quinceañera of birthday parties.
Quinceañera.
Yeah. That's what y'all are planning.
It's a big party. It's a big dinner.
It is.
Yeah.
But like, that's really how I see our roles. Like, there's so much we need to do and so much detail, but like, we are there to set the scene. So to let them do what they need to do, to let them hear what they need to hear, to let them learn what they need to learn. I think everything else is like going to take care of itself. We just need to make sure the table's set for them in the best possible way.
Totally. And I think that what's obviously cool about this event is that, Drew serves the industry. Holly and I both have house cleaning companies. And so it's like, well, what do I want? What do I want to learn? So like, we're coming from a very sort of organic place of trying to create something amazing that's going to serve all of us. Right. So it's very different. And not just, it's not just a salesy place, as we've all said. So yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Well, kind of as we're coming to a close, one of the things I wanted to touch on is I am fortunate enough that we have gotten an Airbnb with like 20 people. So we're like surrounded by people that we know, but there are going to be people that are coming alone. So what do you want that person who's coming by themselves? What do you want their experience to be that first dinner? And what is your advice for them for coming? Because I know that they're out there and they're scared because it's the first event they've ever come to. They're coming by themselves. Like, what do you want that to look like? And what kind of advice do you give them?
I would say get a room at the hotel, because that's where a lot of folks will be. And then you can just bump into them in the halls, in the restaurants, at breakfast, at the bar, like all those things, right? So that you can, and I would say find at our very first evening, right, together is going to be connection. And we will be putting that together in a very specific way so that people are not standing alone in the corner. If you're an introvert and a party sounds horrible to you, then we got you. We're gonna work hard so that you feel held in that space. Now, stepping out of your comfort zone is definitely a part of growing yourself as a leader and as the leader of your company. And so there is going to be some of that for everyone at this event. And I would encourage that. If you're just showing up comfortable, then think about how you can get a little bit uncomfortable, because that's where a lot of growth happens. And so I would definitely say that. So find a friend, find a buddy, look for somebody else there who might also be walking around solo, and go from there. I think there's a little more safety in numbers, and certainly a lot more learning and reflection and that sort of thing. So, and then we'll have some things sprinkled in throughout the whole thing to try to counter some of that. And you guys, you got an Airbnb? You're not staying at the hotel? You're killing me. You're killing me,
I'm
guys.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Massive Airbnb.
As soon as you said it, I was like, oh man. I was like, oh.
But so I understand 100% the hotel, and we will be hanging out at the hotel a whole lot. But there is something to be said about those conversations that happen afterwards. And we were just so excited to be able to connect and to be able to spend time together, and purposeful time together as well, because, the morning before we go to the dinner and everything. So we were really excited to do that. But absolutely stay in the hotel, because there's so much that's going to be going on there. And we're going to be at the hotel. We're going to be hanging out there and everything as well. But while we were talking, I have to say that somebody joined us on the podcast. And so, Holly, welcome. We were just talking about, people that are solo that are coming, and what did you guys expect for them? But go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us why you are proud to be a part of CleanCon, and what your role is and why it's important.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm Holly Moore, founder of TCS, also owner of my own residential cleaning service, Maids and More, for the past 18 years. I had an interesting experience this morning, and for the first time ever got hacked on Facebook. So as I was trying to fix that, I was also worried because it's connected to CleanCon. So I was like, so that's why I'm late. I apologize.
No worries.
I don't know if I fixed it, but Drew, I'm hoping you're going to help me out with all of this, because I don't know how to work the meta. The meta is confusing.
You can call Zuckerberg and get things straightened out.
Okay, good. See, this is why I have my CleanCon friends. So yeah, CleanCon I'm sure y'all already told the story. I don't want to repeat what you guys said, but me and Molly and Drew have this same feeling that a lot of us do in the industry, that we don't have a place to go that's not pressured. There is a place for us together, where it's not a giant money-making plot for anyone. It's for us. It's for the industry to strengthen us. And the cleaning industry is growing, and it's getting bigger, and people are looking into it. PE's coming in. It's a legitimate thing. I mean, never once in my life did I think, starting my little cleaning company, scrubbing toilets with a college degree, that I would wake up 18 years later with a $10 million company in revenue. It's possible, it's doable, and it's doable if we do it all together to help one another. And that's where my passion for CleanCon is. And there's so many of you guys that I've seen on podcasts, that I see all over online, but that in-person thing is big. And since COVID, we've just kind of been doing this, like, I want to bring you your earrings with Nicole or Jen. Like, I've already bought them, like, I want to give you a hug. Like, that connection is so important, and nowhere in the residential industry are we getting that connection. So that's what I'm most excited about CleanCon. Is not necessarily, yes, the agenda and education is going to be awesome, but it's the true, genuine connection that I feel like we've been missing in the industry. And that's why I'm all about CleanCon, and proud to be with Drew and Molly as founders in it. And they are so ethical and have the same feelings about it. And so I just hope everybody comes with that aura and attitude, and leaves, like, maybe past experiences they've had behind in other groups, and come to something new, and come to something awesome that we've all been wanting. It was not only us, it was been requested. We all have. I think we were just maybe lost our minds one day and stepped up and did it.
Yeah, we needed somebody to just take the reins, and we're so thankful that you guys took the reins, because nobody else was really stepping up with that. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we now realize how expensive conferences are, and how much they are, which is no problem. We're going to keep doing it. We love it. It's brought me so much personal satisfaction, and business satisfaction. So I don't regret it at all, but it is a lot of work. So please be nice with your constructive criticism. I'm also from Texas and been known to drive a big truck and have a temper.
Right?
So, Holly,
Hey,
I would
there's
love
no
to.
holding back here.
Thank you. See, I'm on Shenanigans. I can say all the crazy things I want.
Did she
Yeah.
just threaten to run us over?
I
Nope,
think
Is that
she
what
did.
you
I
I
think
don't
so.
know what.
I think so. Come
So
to
what was the next
CleanCon.
question?
No
It was-
pressure, but stay at the hotel.
No, I'm just
Right.
joking.
All right. So I would love to know, Holly, I'm going to go ahead and put you on the spot. Just get some rapid fire questions out here. Who should absolutely be in the room March 16th through 18th?
Who is a part of the residential cleaning industry. I think it's important for owners, but I also think it's really important to bring managers, because the number one thing I hear about residential cleaning industry is, or the number one question I get, because I have 17 managers and I've exited my cleaning service, is how do you empower your managers to manage your business? And if we all want to have that true happiness and freedom and help all of our people along the way, we have to be able to do that. And the first thing is letting go of control and letting them in on some of the insights, letting them feel like they have ownership in your company. And what better way to do that than bringing them along to give them a community of somebody besides just you. So I absolutely think it's for startup companies who have no clue where to go, or what to do, that have 0 employees. Maybe they don't even have 0 cleaners. I also think it's for people who are wearing all the hats still and need to figure out how to get rid of all the hats and hire that first manager. I feel like it's for big owners who need fresh insight, because there will be other big owners there. I mean, it's not just going to be small cleaning companies. And I think it's also for the managers of all of those companies.
If someone is budget tight, how do you help them justify the ROI of this event?
Okay, so I say this all the time when people know they need to hire somebody, but they're too scared because they don't think they have enough money. You need to come. If you're scared about the money, then you need to come to this event. And this isn't it is not an expense, it is an investment. And if you can't, I guarantee you, if you cannot make $499 in revenue and profits off of this event, you're probably gonna be asleep the whole time.
Okay, you stayed in your room the whole time. If
Yeah.
that's the case.
I don't know
Yeah.
what you're doing. It is an expense. It's not a cost, it's an investment. That $499 is probably going to make you 5 times that, by what
Minimally.
you're going to learn and what you're going to implement. So it is not a cost. And if it's a cash flow issue, put it on a credit card and
You
you'll
pay it
thank
off.
yourself later.
Pay it off in a month. You pay it off in a month. Like you'll get
It's
it
a
back. No
write-off.
problem. Yeah.
It's
It is a
It's a
write-off.
write-off.
Yeah.
It's a write-off.
great
You
Is that a
just write
Schitt's
it
Creek
off.
reference?
The government
that-
pays for it. It's a
There
write-off.
it is. Okay, it was. It was a Schitt's Creek reference. Good.
And with that being said, when you come, have that attitude. But I think when you go, you're going to get a little bit overwhelmed. But I think the very first thing is you take, what are those, since this whole thing is about profits, what is the 2 things that I can do right now and from this conference, because there's going to be 90, 2 things that are going to make me the most profit to get my return back on my investment. And those are the 2 things you conquer first. Then you conquer those, like you don't do everything that you learn at CleanCon all at once. You do what's most realistic, most profitable, and most doable. And then you just chip away, 1 micro at a time. Don't try to do it all at once or you'll get nowhere.
Thank you so much for sharing everything. It was so nice to meet with y'all. We should definitely do this again. I look forward to seeing y'all in a few weeks. But
One quick thing. Oh, whoops, sorry.
go
I
ahead.
just want to make sure they all get to announce like their regular businesses, their podcasts, and everything like that. So do that real
Oh,
quick.
yeah.
Go ahead,
Okay,
Holly.
I'll
You
go
can
first.
start-
I'll go
or
first.
okay,
Yes.
Molly. You
Okay.
go.
Thank you. Since I've got to hop off here in a quick
Yep,
second, just in case I have to go. Hey, you guys, thanks so much for having me on. So my cleaning company is called Green Sweep. It's in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I have a business coaching and consulting company called Live Bright, and my podcast is called The Live Bright Show. And you can find me online. Meta is probably the best place. It's just Molly Moran Live, or mollymoran.com is probably the best 2 places to find me. So you guys, this has been so fun. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
All right, Drew, share where people can find you.
Yeah, for sure. So, being a digital agency, you can probably find me everywhere on the internet. You can look us up. 5doormedia.com is our website. You can look us up on Facebook or Instagram. I'm all over the internet as well. Like Molly said, I'm a Facebooker a lot. I am on Facebook quite a bit. Whether it's good for me or not, I'm on it quite a bit. And you can look me up there, or just Drew at 5doormedia.com is a good way to get a hold of me as well. But yeah, happy to be here. Thanks for having us. We've had a few people in the industry invite us on their shows to talk about CleanCon, and every time we're super grateful for it. So appreciate the support. Thank you guys for having us today.
Absolutely. And did you say you have a podcast too? What was the podcast?
Yeah, 5 Door Media Podcast. Made it real
Okay,
simple.
perfect.
Yeah, you can just look us
Gotcha.
up there. Yeah.
Perfect. All right, Holly, go ahead.
Awesome. I'm Holly Moore. I started out as a cleaning service owner 18 years ago. I own Maids and More. We're in Texas, Austin, Texas. Sorry, I promise I won't run over you with the truck. It's a joke.
Everybody watch out, though. She's on the road.
Right. Just in case.
And then I couldn't find a need. There was a need in the industry. I broke every software out there. It was overcomplicated. I was stuck at $3 and $4 million in revenue, and I couldn't push past it. So I did the unthinkable, and I'm not even techie, and started the cleaning software. Changed my life, changed my business in 2020. And then I decided in 2024 to, is that right? Yeah, I'm like losing years. 2024 to launch it to the nation. So now the cleaning software is available nationwide to help all other cleaning services simplify and automate their businesses. And we would love for anyone to schedule a demo with us. I always say that there's no software that's perfect for everybody. So like shopping all kinds and doing demos with all. And that's why I'm most excited about CleanCon is that like ZenMaid's going to be there, Maid Central is going to be there. Like we're all going to be there as resources helping the industry together. So I'm really proud that the cleaning software is part of that. And the cleaning software does have a podcast. And our motto at the cleaning software is to educate and empower the cleaning industry. So tune in, like follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, the cleaning software, like the cleaning software. If anything, we might be entertaining to you.
We
do have podcast. I do have a monthly podcast and education, and I would love for y'all to follow us there.
Perfect.
We should also say, since for CleanCon, you can go to mycleancon.com to learn more about the event, and also we have a CleanCon Facebook page where we're releasing information about who's going to be speaking, who our vendors are, how to get your hotel reservation, Jen and Nicole. I'm just teasing you. All that kind of stuff. So
or Holly's going to run us over.
When to fly in and when to fly out. All of that stuff is on the Facebook page as well as our website, and that's mycleancon.com. So, yes.
Perfect.
So, don't worry, I'm flying.
Right, she'll run you over with a plane.
I know. I was going to say, I hope you're not the pilot.
One more other thing about that is CleanCon is having more events in the future. So if you weren't able to attend this one, go ahead and follow us on socials so that you can see the new live event. And a little birdie told me that we're announcing the next CleanCon event at this CleanCon event.
Nice.
And anyone who is at this one in Indy will get a super cheap price for the next one that will only be available for people at that conference. And I don't want to release any more information unless you think I should, Drew, but it's top secret and it's coming, but I will tell you it's in October.
I think the only other information you should share with that is start saving now. Like if cost prohibited you from coming to this one in March, start saving now. If you can put away $10 a week, by the time we get there, you'll have all the money that you need. So make sure that you guys are doing that. So, all right, Nicole, you have any other final thoughts or anything you want to say before we wrap up?
Nope. This was a great episode. We definitely have to do it again. And I look forward to seeing you all in a few weeks.
I'm
Absolutely.
so excited about that. Thank you guys so much. And
a few weeks. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yes. Yeah. Now the anxiety sets in.
Oh, it was already there. Yeah, it's already there. Yeah. It's been there for a while.
We appreciate you guys so much. We will see you in a couple weeks in the middle of March. So you guys have a great one and have fun planning the rest of it.
See you. Thank you.
See
Bye,
you.
guys.
See you. Bye.